Why the first Starship Troopers movie failed as a parody, a thread. Note to viewer, Starship Troopers is not a parody, it is a satire on fascism and authoritarian governance. Anyways, watching the movie it was clear the director was aiming for a campy over-the-top depiction of the Terran Federation. Perhaps not an outright mockery, but certainly a drastic departure from the serious novel. First, let's tackle a writing pitfall that irks leftists to this day. If you make your characters naturally handsome, fit, and well-groomed, then it becomes increasingly difficult to properly mock them. Beauty is self-evident and all the characters in Starship Troopers are good-looking. This extends to the overall Terran Federation as well. We see clean, beautiful streets, life seems good for Rico in his polite high school. This is a far cry from the crime-ridden and drug-addicted cities we know today. Where are the homeless encampments? The ghettos.
The ghetto! The ghetto!
Can we nail the Terra Federation for being cruel? I guess. But when you play off cruelty as a joke, you are undermining your own message. This isn't a dialogue about the brutal conditions for training soldiers in a futuristic setting. This is a gag and it's hilarious. Alright, what about a critique of comparison? Perhaps the enemies of the Terran Federation have a better system. Oh wait, no, they are bugs. I've seen people genuinely agree that the bugs are supposed to be sympathetic, but they are still bugs. This is not a face I can relate to, sympathize for, or even have a dialogue with. This screams at me to kill it with fire. Even if I didn't want to kill this thing, I want to be in orbit, far away from this creature. It's horrific, and only a contrarian can argue against that. The only thing you can really critique about the Terran Federation is the propaganda and the incompetence. But when everything is so slapstick, it fails at landing a serious point. These guys are badasses in a funny movie, not a warning about the dangers of fascism. Tell me your politics without telling me your politics.
5 hours later.
The best they could throw at me was that I did not understand the difference between satire and a parody. Also, that one guy who straw-manned my position into beautiful people can't be evil. Let's assume for a moment that the subtle distinction between a satire and a parody completely flew over my head. It would for 90% of people. That still doesn't change any of my core arguments.
Your whole thread is about how Starship Troopers fails as a parody, but you didn't even realize it's not a parody. Your argument is all backwards and wrong from the jump. The film's heightened tone is a satire of war and warmongers.
Making a meta-commentary on how war is bad by unironically trying to make it awesome, otherwise known as propaganda, dear viewer, as possible is the dumbest take ever. This is a real thread from twitter.com, by the way. I think he's still going even now, replying to people in this thread, and I'm tired of pretending it's not.
I actually don't understand why you think it looks awesome. People die in gruesome ways in the film. They die in training. Why is it that awesome? Genuinely curious why you view it as unironically awesome and I view it as decidedly not that. Where's the common ground here?
Unironically, I am not the one who made the fascists all decent-looking people. If I was making Starship Troopers, they should all be cast as variations of this guy.
This is the most refined, pure example of how much you are actively, decisively failing to get it, with it being the point of the movie, out of anything you've posted.
You want a good way to know the Nazis? Watch Indiana Jones, 10 times better a critique than Starship Troopers, with Indiana Jones famously being a movie about satirizing military propaganda.
Alright, you got me, top tier troll job. My journey ends here, lol. The idea that Verhoeven is too subtle for some people is genuinely hilarious.